What's up, B2 Capital G here, checking out the brand new Borrelguard Dragon. This guy is coming out in the Collector's Pack 18. Very interesting that this is not coming out in a main booster set. I would have thought that this card was going to be released in Soul Fusion, the set that comes after Cybernetic Horizon, but no, it's actually coming out in a Collector's Pack. The reasoning why I think Konami is doing this, right? I think that it has to do with the anime and the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns is now in Season 2, and I'm thinking that Soul Fusion is when we're going to be seeing a bunch of the characters from Season 2 make their, their anime archetypes like make their debut. So I'm guessing Konami wants as much space in that set as possible for those new anime archetypes. But anyways, Borrelguard Dragon, this guy is Link 4, Dart Dragon, 3000 attack. You expected all of that. His link points are up towards your opponent, down towards you, to the right, and then the bottom right. Not the greatest link points ever. I think I'm mainly just triggered the fact that it points up towards your opponent, and I don't know, I think about Borrel Dragon and it doesn't do that at all. So I mean, it's not the end of the world that it points up. Things like Saryuja Skull Dread do that, but I don't think these are the greatest link points for a Link 4. The link materials are the same as Borrel and Borrel Sword, which is just, 3+ effect monsters. Now, this guy's first effect is cannot be destroyed by card effects. We expected a level of protection because, Borrel Dragon can't be targeted and Borrel Sword Dragon can't be destroyed by battle. I actually think that this is really good. I mean, especially when you think about like Solemn Strike and Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential Tribute, it makes it immune to like Masterpiece's destruction. Like, I like it because even if its effect is negated by like a strike, it doesn't actually die, and it makes it a pretty safe summon against Bottomless and Torrential. So I think that protection effect, Regeki and Slumber aside, is just really good. Second effect, and this is the effect I really don't like that much. Once per turn, you can send one spell, or excuse me, you can send one card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Special summon from either player's graveyard one monster that was sent there this turn because it was destroyed this turn, but it has its effects negated. That effect was almost good, but then it's just like, the one thing that really I didn't like about it was the fact that it had to be destroyed. It had to be destroyed that turn. I can kind of get behind a monster that was sent to the graveyard because if you link summon this card, well, obviously you sent something to the graveyard. You could just revive one of those monsters, and yes, using a dead field spell that already used its Rhoda effect, or using a brilliant fusion, something like that, that could be decent. But the fact that like the monster had to be destroyed during that turn and it comes back and its effects are negated, like, man, that seems like a lot of hoops to jump through, unless I don't know, you really plan on doing a lot of damage with that monster. I mean, the monster can still attack and you can still use it for link material and do whatever the hell you want. I just feel like Konami kind of missed a little bit with that effect. The third effect is actually pretty good. Once per turn, it's a quick effect. You can target one monster on the field, change that monster to face-up defense position. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. This is actually pretty decent. One thing I didn't even realize at first is the fact that this actually triggers like flip monsters, right? I'm gonna give you a really obscure example, right? Example. Let's just say you're playing crawlers, right? And you somehow get Borrelguard Dragon on the field. Since you can target your monsters with this effect, this does mean that you can flip them face up. Your flip effects will actually work at that time. But I think for the most part, this is mainly going to be used to put like really big defensive monsters in defense position. If your opponent happens to have something like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Invoke Merkaba, something, well, I mean, I guess, you'd be able to attack over Invoke Merkaba, but I guess if your opponent has an Alistair in your hand, you could be concerned about that. Like, this is mainly going to probably be used to put those monsters in defense position, and then you just run their asses over. I mean, is this card as good as Borrel Dragon? No, because it's kind of like take effect of getting another monster that you didn't already have. It kind of requires a little bit of setup, you know what I mean? Like, it requires things to go right and for a very good monster to have been destroyed during that turn from either player's side, and it also requires, to send a card from your spell and trap zone. Borrel Dragon just like runs shit over and just says, give me your fucking monster, bitch. And now who doesn't like that, because no one really plays battle traps, but I think that this card is decent. I don't think that it's nearly as good as Borrel Dragon, and I don't even think it's as good as Borrel Sword Dragon. If you're playing a deck where you're making a lot of, I was gonna say rank 4s, if you're making a lot of link 4s, then yeah, maybe you should consider summoning this. I just think there's not a ton that this card can do that the original OG Borrel Dragon can't do, to be honest, and I kind of feel like Borrel Sword Dragon is the second best. So I guess what I'm saying is this is the third best Borrel link 4, which, I mean, I don't really really think that you have that much space to be running this guy, but if you do, then, you know, more power to you. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if there's some other things that you notice about this card that I didn't think about, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. Turn on that notification bell for daily videos.